Gemini, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for the month of July. We're going to take a look at your overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice from Spirit. I'm going to go directly into the tarot. We'll pull out some supportive oracle messages, but I felt guided to just go straight in. I feel like you need to lay some heavy responsibilities, burdens, maybe even a touch of codependency. It could be between you and a friend, where you feel responsible for someone else's well-being. It could be between you and a child, or you and a spouse, where you're taking on too much of a heavy burden or a heavy load of someone else. I got that strongly coming in, that it's time for you to take a mental health break from something. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Gemini. Yeah, you're wrapping up a cycle. Zoomy, zoom, zoom, Knight of Wands. I think that this is the thing. You're being guided to hop on that motorcycle and go, right? Just move forward. You're closing out a long, arduous journey. Okay, that's why I had to go straight into the tarot. Yeah, this is a huge shift for you in your perception. It's been a long cycle, and I feel like you've got a lot of excitement with putting there's closure happening around some aspect of the way you've had to operate in a situation. Yeah. Wow. I feel like this is like feeling a lot coming at you and seeing the truth of what you've been tolerating. 7 of Wands, Ace of Swords. As you can see, this person has their arrow drawn, and their bow drawn, and there's arrows coming at every direction. In this card, this is like feeling like someone's always asking something from you, wanting something from you. It could be a work situation. It could be a parent-child dynamic, a family member dynamic, a friend dynamic. And you're like, all right, I feel like I'm being attacked. I'm getting like a wrongly accused. But you know the truth, Gemini, of this. I mean, you're in your air energy here saying, I'm hearing like, let's call a truce. Let's cut to the truth of this. You're in this energy currently, okay? Let's see where you're headed, though, for the month of July. Clarity is needed over a situation where you feel like you're constantly being attacked, whether it's continuous asking for something or just being on the defensive. You're like, I'm getting like, okay, the clouds are parting. It could even be you trying to defend a new idea. King of Cups. Oh, beautiful energy. This is your heart, the fullness of your heart, your emotional intelligence. But you can see here, this King of Cups is a little bit of choppy waters. You're navigating something emotionally. And I think you're trying to be practical around it. And it's gotten you kind of fired up. Like you're kind of coming in hot into this reading, saying, what is the truth? And you're actually sitting with your heart and saying, heart, you tell me. You tell me. What's your opportunity? 5 of Pentacles. I think I'm getting like you feel guilty about somebody around you. Maybe you've been overgiving to someone who's in a bad way, or they make you feel like they're helpless. I'm getting this love for someone who cries wolf, acts helpless. It's just become too much of a burden. I don't feel like this is you feeling helpless, because this energy is strong right now with you. You see the clarity around someone in your life that maybe you have to turn your back on. The challenge, 6 of Swords. Creating some safety in some distance between you and somebody in your life, even though there's a lot of love here. It's almost like I'm getting you need a break, Gemini, so you can root and ground and nurture yourself again. All right. And then what you don't see coming at the bottom deck, King of Pentacles. Yeah, there's been some conflict. Why do I feel like this has to do with someone around you, and it's not necessarily a significant other? This is the actions and decisions you make in your 3D reality to perpetuate a fight and seeing beyond the secrets and lies around somebody in your life. It feels like it could be a younger male for some of you. Doesn't have to be. But I get that like you're just tired of just the edginess and the disruption that this is bringing you. I feel like you have somebody around you that's like, look, it even feels like it could be this very person where they're not doing well. And somehow you feel like it's your responsibility. But it's almost like, I feel like you're saying someone's helping. You could have a family member coming in and helping you deal with the situation, or a friend coming in and saying, let me help you navigate this difficult situation. It does feel like something bothering you. It could be around your work career too. Wherever there's a conflict going on, and it's a deep, deep pattern, and it's around your 3D material plane. You know, this is like your tangible life. It's something around your hearth and home. There's some sort of problem here. All right, let's get some oracle messages. You're going to cut through. I feel like you're cutting through the BS, Gemini. Yeah, this is about your ultimate path of wisdom. Okay, wisdom on the path, sovereignty. Yeah, I felt a little touch of codependency. Whatever's going on, you're not responsible. It's almost like a cry wolf. Like you can only tolerate so much of someone who's repeating a pattern around you and enabling them. Could be anybody in your life where you feel responsible for them. Yeah, this is about wisdom over you being a sovereign individual, no matter who you feel you're supposed to nurture in your life. There's guilt. Surrender. Wow, very high frequencies here. I'm glad I pulled this second, because we have 222, 5 and 6. So this is having faith on the path. I mean, this is the Queen of the Moon. She's the leader of the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. And she's holding the moon. It's like, and you have the moon here and what you don't see coming. So Gemini, there's something really coming full circle here for you around your past and your independence. I think you're letting go of a person. You're letting go of a situation that has taken such a toll on you. And you're seeing the truth of it. And you're saying, I can love this person, but not at my own expense of my own health and well-being. And it's time for me to put up some safeguards and really see the truth of what I've been tolerating. I feel like you've been tolerating something for quite some time. Pentacle energy. And this could be 5 years, 5 months. Even 5 decades. Yeah. You're disappointed in somebody around you. High Priestess. It's almost like you're here to teach this person a valuable spiritual lesson. Someone who's in victim consciousness is around you, Gemini. It's part of your family. This is a family member, okay? This is a family member. And I think that you're learning a lot about your spiritual lessons have a lot to do with the family that you have in your life. All right. King of Cups. Unconditional love in action. Let's see. What is your heart? Remember, we're talking about this. I'm having these issues. I don't know what to do. You're going to spirit about it. You're going to your higher self about it. And you're going to your heart frequency about it. What is your heart frequency say about this? I'm getting you being very disappointed in somebody. Oh, yeah, judgment. Oof. Decision. It's like you're facing the music about something. Oh, yeah. It's about trust. 7 of Swords, judgment. 8 of Cups. Wow. You were being guided to walk away, to let go. Your heart is saying, how much more do you have to put up with before you realize that you're compromising and sacrificing too much of yourself, Gemini? Do you see what's happening? Do you want to face it? It's hard. I think this is someone you've gone to spirit with, prayed about, dealt with. I see you on your knees at times. Like, what do I do? What are you asking of me? And it's like, it's almost like when you take your heart frequency. This is your heart frequency. Unconditional love. And your heart is saying, it's time to let go. Truly. Of anyone, anything that is deceptive around you, and rise from the ashes of that deception, and don't carry the burden of that individual. I feel like this is not even yours, but somehow it got kind of enmeshed. No, I'm responsible for this individual in my life, even though they're deceptive. And Spirit saying, oh, really? That's not true, Gemini. And if it's not about a person, this is about you trusting the process of an emotional purification and rising above a difficult situation where there has been deception. It's almost like someone thinks they can get away with murder. Isn't that a show? That was a show. I did see a few of those episodes, How to Get Away with Murder. And you're like, you know what? You're abandoning something. Five of Pentacles here in July. And I think what it is you feeling responsible for something that isn't even yours. Are you going to surrender it? Are you going to find the wisdom within you in your own sovereignty, in your own independence? Free yourself. Wow, there it is. It is a family situation. We have 2 5s, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. This is about your independence in a soul bond. Are you putting yourself first, Gemini? Because you haven't in the past. I think this is, I'm just going to say it I'm not going to give you other scenarios. This is very specific to some of you who are going through a very challenging family situation. It could be around a partner, or it could be around a family member. Partner, family member, child, sibling. We'll call it soul family. 2 of Cups. This is about love. This is about the fair exchange of love. And how sometimes when life throws you these challenges, it's almost been a power struggle. Your opportunity is let go of the struggle. You've been holding on like with a tight grip to something that is actually draining you. And I think when you let go of this, you're going to feel stronger. It's like someone's bringing problems to your door and saying, and making it your problem. And at a certain point, you're like, I love this person, but how much unconditional love should I exercise in a situation where I'm taking on someone else's problems? And I think that's been a very difficult lesson for you, Gemini, recently. It could be a lifelong lesson, a spiritual lesson for you. Your spiritual lesson around this individual is to say, your problems are not my problems. This conflict is creating a ruckus. I'm seeing that someone around you feels like a victim, and you're saying that's not what sovereign is. Like, the truth of being a sovereign individual, but you make like a concession or an exception in this case out of unconditional love, even when there's deception around you. It's almost like self-deception when you say, no, that's not happening. And Spirit's like, but it's been happening under your watchful eye. It's really when we turn a blind eye to the deceptive ways of people that we actually love, but we can't see it because we don't want to believe it's true. You're saying, I don't want to believe it's true, that this is who they are or where they're vibrating or what has become of them. So let me lift them out of it. That's not your responsibility. Saying, surrender. You are sovereign. There is wisdom to be found on this path. What's the frequency? Soul time. Yeah, you need a time out. You're taking this to Spirit. Even if that means, you just need a break from this conflict. There is a conflict in your life around one individual or a family situation. And it's like everyone's got their own opinion. You're trying to figure out what you believe. Let's see the 6 of Swords. But there's that clarity. The truth shall set you free, Gemini. I feel like once you realize the truth and you remove maybe like coming to terms with it mentally and emotionally, I think that you are always knew, but sometimes we have a hard time accepting it for real. 6 of Swords. Your challenge is to move away and not let something bother you. Oh my God, this is about your healing journey. Justice, 4 of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. I feel like you got someone coming in hot that's getting you angry. And instead of addressing how you really feel, you're more concerned about this person. You know, this is when we actually need to surrender control and surrender making it about them and putting up these healthy decisions, judgment, and saying, you know what, no more am I going to push against this energy. And I think what you're doing is you're saying, I need to move on mentally from this. We have the 6 and the 4 of swords. That's the 10 of swords. That's the challenge. Can you mentally walk away from something and come back into balance and find your fighting spirit again within you and not let someone drain your life force out of you mentally every day because of their problems? And I know why you're doing it. You're doing it out of love. But at what expense of your own well-being? What was it? I don't think it's this extreme circumstance. And if it is, I'm very sorry. And it's time to reach out for help because, you know, that Tina Turner song, what does love have to do with it? You know what I mean? And she was right. Like, at what expense is you can't just rely just on love alone when something's undermining your stability and you're accepting it. And I'm getting that you've been so tolerant and forgiving and compassionate. Like you feel guilty putting up boundaries. But you need it. In July, you need it. Give yourself a mental health break from this. Okay? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and there it is. Another 5 of Swords. Walk away from the conflict. Yeah, it's around reciprocity, overgiving. I feel like you've been so generous with a family member. And it's creating conflict because the minute you put up a boundary, it's almost like when we people please because we just don't want the beef. But then you feel resentful and you hold on to this like, ugh, it's an icky feeling. So you're saying, no, I don't want to carry this icky feeling anymore. Yeah. You're putting up healthy boundaries. I love it because there's a progression here. You're going from the 5 of Pentacles in your opportunity in this conflict. It's an internal conflict now around you standing in your own independence in a connection that you need to move on mentally from so you can heal and come back into balance. And use your fire energy for you, not for allow someone to take it from you. You're giving it to them. Yeah, I like it what you're doing here. You know what you're supposed to do. This is a family situation, okay? 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. This is when we take care of the needs of other people to such an extent that they start to take advantage of your kindness. It doesn't have to be a family situation, but this is something that's been going on for a while, okay? 10 of Pentacles, like I said, 5 decades maybe. I mean, 10 years. Like how long are you going to give to something and feed and abet and aid in an ongoing internal conflict? This is like when we give. Where is the line drawn in that? And Spirit is saying, you know, you got to walk away from the imbalance and focus on the things that really, really matter to you. I'm getting it that you've got other things to focus on than someone else's problems. Even if it's a family member, a sibling. It's like you need to focus on you here. Because even if you have someone around you that is going through like an active addiction, I'm not seeing the devil, but I'm seeing someone in heavy victim consciousness around you. And you saying, you know what, I can only give so much. I've been doing this for so long that now I'm internally conflicted over saying no because I feel guilty. And that's something you're trying to clean up here. Soul time. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Yeah, there's a very deep spiritual lesson here around surrendering the problems that are being brought to your door and really focusing on yourself in July. Okay, let's keep going. I want to get this other energy. I think you've got support around you in you taking a stand around not giving anymore to something. It could be you over giving money to a family member. Like you've been so generous with this individual or individuals. This is about your family legacy too. Some of you, this is a fight over a family member over inheritance. a grievance in a family situation where it's been unjust. There could be even someone that's taking advantage of someone who's going through a health crisis, and you're stepping in. This is a complicated situation. It's going to be different. But if you're going through any kind of family problem, what I see here is it's time for you to put up healthy boundaries, to recognize that there's deception around you, and it's time to pass judgment over this and stand independent and strong and say what needs to be said. This is what I think, that you've been biting your tongue. We have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. Over the Five of Swords, Moon, and the King of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. The Magician. Yeah. So it's hitting close to home. There's some sort of illusion around you and some karmic changes around someone who's young. It's almost like you could have someone who reaches out, right? And they're in some sort of emotional crisis. This is a karmic lesson for you, Gemini. I know it's hard. Some of you, this isn't about a family member. It's around your career. And like, listen, I'm all for being generous with other people. But in this situation, I think what you're manifesting is looking at the truth of a subconscious pattern that is so ingrained in you that you are going to shift out of this the minute you start putting up healthy boundaries. And you're actually going to be manifesting more peace and harmony within you. I see this as more about you and the harmonization of what you want to manifest, which is a feeling of peace and cooperation inside. But you're putting up with a situation that is not that. Okay? I'm going to get where are we at? 2211. Wow. That's a high frequency. Let's see. There is someone who coming in can help with the situation. It could, whoever this is, it could be another family member who's like, I have a solution. I'm going to help with this. I feel like there's help arriving. It could be a friend who's lending a helping hand. So you might even be drawing up paperwork. There's something around documents, paperwork, someone coming in to help with this situation. It has to do with inheritance, money, long-term finances, taking a stand and exposing the truth about a situation. There's definitely some deception involved here. This is a tricky one, a family problem for a lot of you tuning in. Someone trying to get away with something that's being caught. Very unique reading for July. But this is what we go through, family dynamics. Metal Pig, partnership and collaboration. Number 48. Let's see this. Look, it's almost like the pig is looking at light and shadow and going, oh my God. Like, who is this? What was this? The metal pig pillar with yin metal over the pig's yin water reveals how our partners in love or business are a reflection of who we are. Some of this is a business partner. Ooh. Some of you, there's touches of that. Be careful with anyone you're going into business dealings with. They may be, you may be learning the lesson in that it's not a good idea whenever you do it. As one of the 10 spiritual pillars, the metal pig also indicates the work of the divine in our serendipitous interactions with current and future partners. We may feel a certain familiarity or instant connection. That flicker of recognition is the souls acknowledging each other's light and vibration. The pig, one of the 4 travel stars in Chinese metaphysics, is not without fears, but she can move quickly once the wheels of fate are set in motion. This card appears to help us make sense of changes in our partnerships, whether personal or professional. Like I said, could be anyone that you were partnered up with. Friend, family. It's hard with tarot, y'all, because partnership could be anything. And I'm reading for the general collective. So when we say partnership, it's whoever you're dealing with. This is a very problematic partnership from what I'm seeing. But it's teaching you something about yourself and your tolerance and the guilt and manipulation that you were actually accepting in a situation. Okay? I don't know. I just have a hard time with the word partner because People are going to assume that I'm talking about a romantic partner, but it's really anyone that you feel committed to be having in your life, personal or professional. We attract partners who match our frequencies, which change as we evolve. Relationships feel fated when the frequencies align. Separations occur when our vibrations are no longer in harmony, and there comes a time for each partner to move on to the next step in their own unique path. When this happens, let them go and wish them well, as the partnership has served its purpose. Check in with the heart whenever you're considering partnering with someone for a project, placing your fears aside. Does the heart scream yes with excitement? Then go for it and enjoy the collaboration and energy exchange. There's no mere coincidence here. Pay attention to synchronicity and serendipity. The universe is always ever supportive in helping us meet the right people and the right group at the right time in the right place. Trust in divine flow and open your heart to receive its guidance. Metal shows our most significant relationships as a reflection of our soul's journey. Consider how the lessons learned in your relationships have contributed to your growth. And then the pig signifies ever-changing circumstances. Surrender to the flow and embrace the process. Yeah. It does seem like there is a significant shift in the lessons, right? But there's something around deception here in a partnership and whether you really want to continue giving to this. I think there will be an agreement made and then you're going to let go. Let's get some advice. Yeah, be careful because I see a lot of like either internal conflict or it's like you could be walking away from one situation, one collaboration, and going towards another that's more beneficial for where you're at vibrationally. But for the most part, this really felt like a family problem where it doesn't matter who this family member is to you. It's time to move on from the fighting and focus on things that actually make you feel more rooted and grounded in your own vibrational frequency. It's almost like, there's a lot of magic in elevating. Don't let anything hold you back or anyone hold you back from the peace and joy and harmonization you should feel from day to day. Someone's stealing your peace in July, and don't let them. Don't let them. Let's get some advice. This was a wild rodeo. It felt like you've got like a bucking bronco, like something is kicking up a storm or has been. Yeah, King of Swords. This is about your boundaries and really making intelligent, wise decisions, being practical. Yeah, something's been bothering you. 3 of Swords. I think you've had enough. You've had enough, Gemini. You're moving on. Wow, all swords in the advice. King of Swords, 3 of Swords, 6 of Swords. Look at that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're done. It's interesting. I had a friend tell me this, and I'm an air sign, y'all. So heed this advice. I don't have much Gemini, but I have Gemini people in my life. So this isn't about me, but this is something I heard recently about myself as an air sign. You're very tolerant, but you got a strong cutoff game. So I feel like you're reaching that point where you're like, that's it. Done. And it's like once you've made up your mind, you're done. And I feel like this month of July, you were really done with something, someone, a situation. And everything in you, in your mind is saying, you have to let this go. You have to just move away because you're almost allowing yourself to continually get hurt. Whether it's through someone's words or the communication that you have with them, you get to decide what you will tolerate or not. And I think that's what you're realizing is that you've been very tolerant. And now you're saying it's time to, you can be nice, you can be kind until you really need to love yourself enough to say no. Love yourself enough to say no, Gemini, in July, with whatever you're dealing with. Okay? So you can heal. All right? That's your challenge. Can you move away from something so you can work on healing you instead of allowing the hits to keep coming? Whatever that is, whether it's someone who's, I want, or, I feel like you're being pushed. So, not the easiest reading, Gemini. But I think that this is serving your spiritual growth like nothing else, okay? Because at the end of this, actually, I'm going to do something unique. If you really move on to calmer waters mentally and you put up some healthy boundaries and you communicate your hurt. See, the thing is like we start to overanalyze everything. We try to make excuses and we try to understand where someone's coming from. But are you honoring how you feel? Because when we don't honor how we feel, we get angry inside and then we lash out. So all we need to do is say, when someone really hurts us, you say, this hurts me. This hurts me. But I feel like you kind of swallow it up. So you're going to say in July, this hurts me and I have to move away from you. I have to move away from this. And let's see what happens as a result. Where are you moving toward? That's that judgment. Happiness. Because you finally put yourself first. Judgment. You're going to go, I think come Leo season, you're going to be like, why did I wait so long to put up these boundaries for my own mental well-being? Happiness. Happiness is coming for you, Gemini. Wow. Wow. And it's like unbelievable joy because it's like you're realizing, why have I sacrificed so much of my happiness? You have the Tower of the Sun and the Judgment. If you actually move away from this mentally and you not make someone else's problems your problem anymore, you're actually going to have a freaking like surprise epiphany around, it's time to put you first, Gemini. This is a powerful rebirth in your own enlightenment. I feel like it's going to make you catapult in your own awareness of self and what you've sacrificed so much of yourself for a situation for so long that I think you're actually elevating in your vibration because you're not letting someone's constant crisis be your problem anymore. The universe is now stepping in and saying, it's time. No more, Gemini. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love. Namaste.